morning, boys and girls. Today in writing, you're going to be learning about how to write a successful open-ended answer. The past couple of weeks, you guys have been learning about different questions you're going to be asked during the NJ Ask test. So today we're going to go over one of them, and that's open-ended questions and answers. So can anyone tell me how you would successfully answer an open-ended question? Very good. So today we're going to look over this example first. We're going to read this article together. So, weather is the condition of the air at a certain time and place. Knowing what the weather is going to be useful whether you are planning a special event or performing a task. So right there, I think that that's a good thing to know, is knowing what the weather is going to be useful whether you are planning a special event or performing a task. One way to learn about weather is to listen to a weather report. A weather report usually answers these questions. What is the temperature? Is the sun shining or is it cloudy? Has there been any rain, snow, or hail? How windy is it? Is there much dampness, humidity in the air? So, once you're done looking over it and reading the article, you then are going to think about what you take from the article, what you think the article means, and that's what we did right now by highlighting and underlining the article. Then we need to go over the question. So can somebody raise their hand and read this question for you, please? Here.
According to the passage, weather is the condition of the air in a certain time and place. Why would it be important to know what the weather is today or what it will be tomorrow? Be sure to use examples or ideas in the passage or your own life to support your case.
Okay. So the first step before you answer the question, an open-ended question, you need to, and you guys can't really see this, but it says thoroughly understand what the question is asking. So can anyone tell me what they think this question is actually asking? Here.
It's asking to support why weather conditions in the air are at a certain place and time.
Well, that's one of the questions. You need to support it. So what is it asking?
Why would it be important to know what the weather is today or what it will be tomorrow?
Okay, so in order to answer this question, we need to go back to the article because we need to find evidence, correct? Okay, so that's our first step. We need to thoroughly understand what the question is asking. So here just told us that we need to know why it's important to know the weather today and what it will be tomorrow, and we also need to show examples and support our answer. So the second step would be, once you determine what the question is asking, it is time to collect information from the passage. So we know that the question is asking, why would it be important to know what the weather is today or what it would be tomorrow? So from our passage and what we highlighted before, can anyone please tell me what the answer to our question would be? Ivy?
Well, read the plan. Well, should we actually read it from the actual?
Well, it's right here.
Oh, is the answers here?
From what we highlighted before, because we were using our thinking while we were highlighting the article. So, can you tell me what the answer would be from the question? Because the question is asking why would it be important?
Special event or performing a task.
Okay, so we know that. So that's how we would start off our answer.
Okay, so everyone has the packet in front of them?
Yes.
Everyone has a pencil?
No.
All right, so Okay. Okay, so we're gonna look at the question again, the one that you guys just went over. And, okay, so here's a sample of a good answer. This is not something you use exactly, but as you can see on the bottom, it says, these are the first two sentences of a good answer. So that does not mean it's a complete answer, right? It means it's a good start. So someone wanna read this for me?
It is important to know what the weather is so we can plan what we're going to do. If you decide to go swimming but you don't know what the weather is going to be like, you can find yourself swimming in the range of.
Okay, everyone was able to follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I'm reading the sample, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so it is important to know, it's gonna work for that way. It is important to know what the weather is, so you can explain so you can plan what you are going to do. So I underline this. Why do I think that this is an excellent opening? There's a lot of reasons, but there's one reason that I'm thinking of.
That was the question they were asking along saying it was like the evidence.
Perfect, nailed it. If anyone didn't hear what she said that because in the sample, they were beginning to answer the question. So in other words, they restated the question in an answer. And it's always a good idea to when you're answering an open-ended, you don't want to say, because I want to plan ahead for the next day, right? You kind of want to restate the question so that the reader knows exactly where you're going with this. You want the reader to be able to follow along in the first sentence, because in an open-ended, you don't want to just start with what you think. You want to kind of start with, what am I answering? What exactly am I going to say? So that's always a good idea. Okay, so if you decide you want to go swimming, but you don't know what the weather is going to be, like you could find yourself swimming between the raindrops or the snowflakes. So in the question, it says not only be sure to use examples or ideas from the passage, but what else is it saying you can use? What else would be a good idea to use if you have it? Yes?
So if you're
Okay, so why do you think that actually you can turn and talk about this and I'll ask you some answers. Why do you think that using personal experience would be a good idea to use in an open-ended question like this, if you have it? So go ahead, you can turn and talk to the person next to you.
Yeah, I think it's because that personal experience so like you probably already experienced stuff like bad weather, stuff like that. So you can be like, I've experienced snow and heavy rain.
You should use a calculator.
Like your personal experience.
It's like, you know how I was just thinking, Mr. Hand sometimes lets us use a calculator with our homework. So I'm thinking, how do you use a calculator to help?
How's that? That's not going to work. So how do you guys use this fact?
I just think that if you experience stuff in real life, it'd be a lot easier. So like, I experienced heavy rain.
Using your
Schema! CSI! What? It's the content of the schema and the information. You can infer that the answer is D.
It's just answer like because what? Guys, wouldn't it be funny if like at the beginning, like they put the answer as
Which one are you guys for?
You're thinking. Good job.
Yeah.
Did you say a good job?
Okay, can everyone, hands on your head? Okay. Alright, so I went around and heard a few good answers. I heard over here, if you want to fly a kite the next day, you want to see if there would be a nice wind breeze, because if it's rainy, how can you fly a kite, right? So while you guys were talking, I thought of an example for myself. Has anyone been to New York City? I love it. I love New York City. I love walking around, but something I don't love is getting my hair wet. My hair is curly when it gets wet. Anyone, girls, you got that problem? So what I wrote is, I know, Ivy gets it, right?
Mr. Green calls
So what I wrote for my sample is, so if I restated the first question, so we'll pretend that I restated that. If you decide to take a trip to New York City, you want to know if the weather would be nice for being outdoors. So that was my personal example. So someone said the word before. Why would it be good to use your own personal experience to provide more, what? Shout it out if you know it.
Evidence.
I heard evidence, I heard support. Those are all really great answers. Because using something from the article shows that you read it and you understand it. Providing your own personal experience shows that you're really comprehending, you're really understanding what the question is asking. Because the readers want to see, they want to be able to relate to you. And sometimes readers can relate to you when you're relating to what you're writing. You always want to relate to what you're writing.